So, hi everybody. I'm going to just record this demo for the two-point perspective geometry. The drawing that you're going to make is you want to combine a total of 5 different objects, geometric objects. You're going to draw 3 of them first, and then stack or overlap 2 additional. And then lastly, we're going to hopefully get to adding some shading. So with that, I'm going to increase the size of my camera so you can kind of see what I'm up to. The one thing so with 1-point perspective, you can put your dot anywhere on the page. But with 2-point perspective, it's very important that the 2 dots line up. So you want to kind of start by drawing a light horizon line and then putting your 2 vanishing points on your artwork. So I can erase this later. I'm not pressing too hard right now. I'm still trying to be kind of light. And then the other major difference, if we go back to the examples that I had, let me shrink my screen, shrink my camera for a second. The other major difference with drawing 1-point versus 2-point is in 1-point perspective, I'm drawing straight cubes, right? So straight squares, and then making them look 3D. With 2-point perspective, I'm actually just drawing this front edge, and then I'm shrinking them back to make it look like it's 3D. So if I can bring this up, make this a little bigger. So the way that this goes, I'll lock this here. What I'm going to start to do is with my ruler, I'm going to just draw kind of like some front edges, a couple below, and I'm using maybe like 2 inches. And then I'll do kind of something a little different. Maybe I'll do a diagonal line over here just to kind of show it. So now I've got those edges. I will then use this vanishing point to lightly connect all of those edges to the vanishing point. Now this is where that hack that I was showing, that I was talking about, if you wanted to try it, if you have a piece of string, I'm using a pipe cleaner, but you can also use a piece of string and a little bit of tape. If you tape the string to where the vanishing point is, then you can kind of just spin it around and just use it to draw your lines. And I'm not going to go all the way. I'm going to just pull it. And it's not perfect. Obviously, a ruler is more stable, but it does help me to kind of just lightly sketch in those lines. So that's with the tape. I'll demonstrate without the tape over here. So the other side, so the way it works is anything that's on this, going in this direction, I'll put to this vanishing point. Anything going to that direction will go to the opposite side. So I'll do kind of with my ruler, and I'll just lightly draw those lines for all of them. And I'm not going the whole distance because I know I'm going to erase some of them anyways. So now I'm starting to get a little bit of 3D. But now I want to turn these into closed boxes. So like this one on the right, see how they're kind of closed in the back? So just like with 1 point perspective, you take this line, this front edge, and you slide it along, and you can make it however wide you want it or however deep you want it. And then I'll repeat that same process for all of them. I kind of line it up with this front edge, and then I slide my ruler. Take this, slide my ruler. And now this one was slanted to begin with, so I'm going to kind of slant. I'm going to try and keep that same slant and keep that same slant. Alok, you kind of came in before, or you missed the first part of this. So basically today we're doing 2 point perspective, and then tomorrow we're putting it all together. So again, line up the front edge, slide it back a little bit. And now I have like the front edges of a bunch of shapes, but I need to start to draw the back corners. And now the back corners get a little bit, there's a little bit more work that needs to happen to get those back corners, because I now have like these L edges for the bottom, and I have like a top edge at the top. And the same here, I have a top and a bottom. I now want to use these points. If it's below the horizon line, you use the top edge points. If it's above the horizon line, you use the bottom points. So I'll use like these. And I will now start to kind of connect to, and then again over here I will connect. And then this one, because it's on this side of the paper, I will connect it I think I goofed up that line a little bit. Goofed up right here a little, so I'll just erase that goof up. And then last but not least, kind of do top to that. And now the last part is just this top edge here. So we've got almost a full cube, but we're going to just take this edge and move it to the back to make that kind of top. And erase. And then this one, we'll take this edge and slide it to the back. The key is, again, the front and the back are always going to be parallel. You don't want them to be at different angles. So this gets more complicated, obviously, when we're doing something like lettering. So again, front edge, slide it to the back. Now the last piece to make these look more 3D would be to do something like, if there's a light on this side shining, that means that the opposite side, like this side, is going to be the dark shadow side. In this case, the underside will actually be even darker. So I'm going to start to kind of shade and do a dark side and then a medium shade side, and then I'll repeat that all the way through. So I feel like let's start with just those three geometric objects before we even get into anything like overlapping or popping out, like these more advanced ones. Let's start with just doing 3 geometric objects using 2-point perspective. So that is just like this example here on the left.